Hey guys, I'm so excited because today I'm here with Lauryn Evarts and Michael Bosstick from theskinnyconfidential.com, my absolute favorite blog.
Hi!
Why don't you tell the viewers what The Skinny Confidential is all about?
So, The Skinny Confidential is a blog and book, and it's just kind of a platform for women to connect everywhere and share their tips and tricks and get inspired and get ideas. And we talk about everything from, boob jobs to purple shampoo to spray tans to more serious stuff like relationships, moving in together, or should you not. And now it's kind of turned into a podcast. It's on iTunes. It's called The Skinny Confidential, him and her, and we're kind of giving both of a perspective on serious issues but also funny issues. And we also have a book,
which I will link everything down below in the description for you guys. Okay, so let's start off with the fact that you brought Michael into your blog.
Michael actually is the one that was like, stop talking about this idea, go and execute it.
Yeah.
So he's kind of been along the way of The Skinny Confidential, giving me tips and tricks and advice and business, things I should do. So just recently he's really gotten involved because the readers have really grown to love him and develop a relationship with him, and he provides a great male perspective.
Yeah, when she first started the blog, I definitely wanted to be her thing. Mm-hmm. I had my thing. I had some traditional businesses of my own that I was running, and so I definitely wanted to stay out of her thing and let it really develop in her voice with her emphasis on it and her creative direction. And as the years progressed and it got bigger and bigger and bigger and started to develop a bigger reader base, we decided, hey, look, this is operating like a business, and there's no one person that can be expected to run a company by themselves. So
exactly.
I came on and helped anchor down some of the more, which Lauryn would call boring stuff, the financials and the delegation and hiring and all that kind of stuff. So,
which is great because I think that a lot of people, like we were saying before, don't really share the business side of blogging. So it's really nice that you guys have sort of brought you on and to share that perspective of it, as well as I really enjoy your reading lists.
Yeah.
And I was telling her how your Snapchats where you're always putting up books and stuff like that, I screenshot every single one of them.
Cool.
So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna read that later.
That's awesome, yeah.
That's awesome. I think that blogging is a business, and if you want to be taken seriously as a blogger, you should take your blog like a business and take it seriously. So blogging and business definitely go hand in hand, and I think what Michael and I are trying to do is showcase that and be real about it and be honest about it. Instead of having this kind of like mysterious business that no one really understands, we're trying to show what goes on behind the scenes and answer people's questions.
I think people that get scared to maybe bring the business of blogging to light, or maybe they're scared because they don't want the space to become saturated, or they don't want someone to come in and take their readership.
Yeah.
I don't believe in that. I think that if you're providing value and if you have something interesting to say, people cannot take that away from you.
Yeah.
So I think what this is going to do is, the cream will always rise to the top, and the people that are kind of faking it will not. So I think it's been interesting to showcase not only Lauryn's creativity, but hey, look, this is a businesswoman as well.
Us showing that side is what The Skinny Confidential is all about. It's about sharing the truth and being like, here's what's going on, and not making this facade where it's just like I just write a blog post and do a picture.
Yeah.
It's showing the ins and outs, and it's sharing with women that they can do whatever they kind of want to do and be the best version of themselves.
Well, yeah, and I think a lot of people don't realize how much work actually goes into those blog posts and those video posts. There's so much production.
I mean, if you really think about it, it's essentially its own little media company. We're producing content on a daily basis, not just on the blog, but on the social channels, Snapchat.
Sometimes twice lately. We've been doing a lot of posts. We're moving it up to 2 times a day. So.
Wow.
It's a lot of writing. If you follow the Snapchats, it's like a lot of time put into these things. I'm a little bit quicker because I just shoot it raw. But
you shoot it real raw.
So really it's a lot of production and a lot of work.
So one of the things that I really enjoy about Lauryn's blog, which I've been following her for a few years now, and I have to say that your branding is unreal. Everything is on point, like everything that you put out there, and from the design of your website to the pictures to your Snapchats, everything is just goes together so well. Can you offer the viewers any branding tips at all?
Sure. So what I did is I went and I bought a poster board at Rite Aid, a huge one. I put it in my office, and I went to Home Depot and I bought like paint splotches, and I picked the colors that I wanted, and I went to the fabric store and got textures and anything that inspired me, and I started just putting it on this board slowly but surely. Started drawing out kind of how I wanted the logo, fonts that I found online. I would screenshot Instagrams, print them out, just whatever was inspiring me, I put on this board. And after like 2 months, it had grown into this like beautiful experience, which is exactly what I wanted for my readers. And I showed a web designer and micromanaged the hell out of him, which I'm so annoying. I'm sorry to him, I'm sorry to the web designer, I'm sorry to everyone, I'm so annoying. Micromanaged him and basically came up with the first version of the Skinny Confidential. I would say that if you're a blogger and you're looking to brand, start with your poster board, go from there, and then just make sure that it's fluid throughout all your channels. So if your blog is, you know, really soft and pink and feminine, make your Instagram really soft and pink and feminine. If your Twitter is black, but your blog is like pink and lilac, like make that experience the same experience across every single channel.
Consistency is important. Yeah,
absolutely.
So that when someone comes across any of your channels, they recognize the brand and like, oh, that's the Skinny Confidential, or that's so-and-so.
Like, I want him to start wearing pink so he can just really rep the brand when he's snapping.
Yep.
Maybe just do t-shirts up for him. Yeah. Which actually, that brings me to the next point, which was marketing. Now, you were saying that you come from a more traditional business sense. Can you give the viewers some marketing tips that you kind of help bring into the Skinny Confidential?
Yeah, I think a lot of people in their marketing make a huge mistake and try to grab everyone. And they try to throw this huge net out into the sea in hopes they're going to grab every fish. I think that's a big mistake. I think targeted marketing is what is important. You really need to understand your customer or your reader or your viewer, whatever it is, and really put an emphasis on marketing to that viewership. I think so many people make a mistake in business or in blogging where they capture an audience initially and they are an interested customer, and they have somebody that's really rooting for them and saying like, oh, I love this brand or I love this product. Right. And what they do then is they completely abandon that user base and go for somebody who's maybe not necessarily interested. And what I think that does is it takes your eye off the prize of who your real customers are, and it creates an uphill battle for you trying to get people who may not necessarily be your customers. So I think when you're marketing, you really need to cater to those initial people with interest and target people like them, because once you have them really engaged in the brand or the product or the business, they'll go out and be your soldiers for you. They will go out and tell all their friends, all their family. But if you abandon them and try to get everybody else, you're gonna run into some trouble.
So understand your customer and cater towards them.
Yes, and we were talking about your niche off camera. Like, you have certain niches. Like, I think everyone has a niche, and you like need to find that niche and make it a brand. And don't abandon your niche. Just because she's doing fashion doesn't mean you need to do fashion. Just because she's doing, you know, hair doesn't mean you need to do hair. Find what you're good at, find where your niche is, and really, really ride it.
And speaking of niches, this is the last thing I'll say about marketing. When I'm thinking about marketing, I literally, like Lauren said with the poster board, I tell all the guys that work with me, hey, you should be able to picture your customer or a likeness of your customer in your head. Like for some of my products, I know almost down to a T what they look like, how they dress, where they go,
their
like what they're thinking, their mannerisms,
Mm-hmm.
and then I catered my marketing towards that.
That's really smart.
I think if you're just hoping, hey, I hope everybody likes this, you're setting yourself up for a really difficult time.
Absolutely. I think even when I'm writing the Skinny Confidential, I can picture who I'm writing to. Like, I can picture the type of girl I'm writing to, and I know who I'm writing to, if that makes sense. I think that's really, really important to know who's reading your platform.
That's incredibly
or buying your
great
product.
advice. Year. It's a series called Deep Beauty, and I really wanted to bring it to YouTube because I wanted to help as many women as I possibly could. And what Deep Beauty means basically